It's a little crazy out here, man. I'm telling you, man, it's bizarre as hell. I had to just take care of some crazy activities. But what I can tell you also is hit the like button coming through the door because this is about to get real. Cam and Mace thought that this would be ideal of a situation for them to get involved in and make fun of a situation they had no business doing that with. They went and made fun of making light of the Biggie situation that neither one was at. Now, I don't mind them telling them what they side of the story of what happened, because hell, I wasn't there. You hear me talk about it when it happened, like and all of the stuff what happened then, but I don't dwell on it. Mace was down in Vegas and in Cali, rather when this was going on. But it was entirely different. I don't know what they laughing at. Like Biggie died. Like, why is dudes laughing? That's the thing that's really bizarre to me out of all this, is the laughing. I just don't understand it.
He went there to LA and left out. He was the only one there. So you got Biggie passed away, security not busting their hammer, Puff get on the private jet. Everybody going, and Mace figured his way to get out of here. So we was talking about, he said, Cam, that's why you just see me run around with nobody sometimes. Ain't nobody do shit. I'm better off by myself. It's funny, but not funny.
Yeah, when they go,
yeah.
You by yourself. Everybody trying to make it home.
Yeah.
Especially if it's crying behind cars. I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Right.
But that was weird. I'm not saying that part didn't happen, but Mace wasn't there. To me, that's strange. Like, for them to say that and be laughing is strange. And to insinuate that they're trying to insinuate like that was Gene Deal crying behind a car, talking about, I just want to go home, I just want to go home. I don't think it was him at all that said that. But obviously, I don't believe that in a million years. But to put that in type of insinuation out there, that's crazy. I can see why Mace is upset with Gene, because the way Gene was telling these stories on Art of Dialogue, he was trying to allude that Mace knew something, like he was in on it, and he could have had Big taken out, and that could have got Mace taken out. So Mace is really like reversing it and like, yeah, now I'm gonna do it to you. Now I'm gonna flip the script and I'm gonna do it to you. Now I'm gonna put this, and now you get to see how it go. But I don't get the laughing though, dog. Big died. I don't see nothing funny in that. I don't see nothing funny in that at all. I don't. I don't understand the giggling. I just don't. That just don't make no sense. Especially if you Cam, who Biggie signed you. Right? You with his guy because Biggie vouched for you and got you signed. Mace brought you to Biggie. And I'm like, dog, you with Biggie, Mace, you wouldn't really be anywhere if it wasn't for these guys. I'm just like, the disrespect factor, man, it's just, I'm just not part of this new game where guys do that, and that's cool. And I'm cool with Mace. Like, me and him have we cordial with each other. I ain't gonna say we friends, but we ain't got no problems with each other at all. But to see that happen like that, That don't make no sense. That really don't. And no, what Gene did was tell a story that kind of made it look like, to give it some appeal about that celebrity basketball game. To where, like, he knew something he didn't tell Biggie. It's like, dog, like he could have saved Big life if he'd have told Biggie. It's like that's not even the case, bro. He told Puff what happened when he was in there, and Puff didn't tell Big or anything. That's on them. They all knew what was up. D-Rock was there with Puff when he told Puff. You knew. You've been talking about it since the day you got there. But let me tell you what was told to me, because I hate talking about this. I really do. And I wasn't there, but I hate talking about it. I don't like talking about Pac getting shot. I don't like talking about Big dying and all that. I just don't like dwelling on it. Everybody keep going back to this night. It's like, dude, why are we going back to this night? Because for some people, that's where their legacy ended. They started and ended right there. And since then, that's been it. So they dwell on that moment because that was the moment or the pinnacle of their lifetime. So they stay stuck in that moment. Now, Mace, his pen got him to where he was, and he was holding the whole thing down after Big died. It's meaning the label, everything. Everything was off his pen. The whole Puffy music career was off of Mace's pen. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So to see all of this is surprising and a little bit crazy, that they allowed that to go down. So like what Gene Deal said is you had an obligation to tell Biggie what was gonna happen. And you ain't tell Biggie personally. Even though everybody knew what Mace told them and all this. Dog, they calling Big phone personally. His cell phone, his man's. They calling Lil C's phone. Talking about watching you, we got you. So dog, come on. They was doing it the whole time they were there, B. What is you? So this is what I'm saying. I don't like this game. Both men need to stop. They need to have a phone conversation again, straighten this out, and get it over with. And be like, look, we moving on. Okay, no more Ghost of St. James talk. I mean, one of the most hurtful things I had to hear was Mrs. Wallace's voice. For the last time I've heard her voice is when she was on the phone, when Gene had her on a cell phone, and she told him to keep doing this thing. And you could hear how weak her voice was in there. And I was like, man, she don't sound good. And I was saying that then, and they all geeked up about this. Yeah, I told you, she know what I'm doing. And I'm like, man, look, that woman is, why keep this going? So she got to keep hearing about all this over and over and over again. You said you was going to stop. You got plenty more stories you could talk about. Why you want to stay here? Why everybody is so enamored with staying back in 1997? Reggie Wright, that's all he got. He gonna talk about that night until he don't want to talk about that night no more. Man, these dudes, man, I keep trying to tell them this whole thing is it's like bad business. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was so much hip hop you could be teaching people. There's so much about the business you could be teaching people that's way more entertaining than this. This ain't entertainment. And art didn't used to do this type of bullshit. Art used to be like, I ain't finna be Vlad. You know, I'm finna really interview people and do this. Now he bring people there just to send messages, send shots, you know, changing titles around and what people really ain't talking about. Art's starting to change up to be other, you know, just a chocolate covered DJ Vlad. And unfortunately, that's where he's headed. So hopefully he hit the brakes and turn back around and get back to the substance. Because this ain't substance. This some bullshit from both guys. Yeah, y'all both need to cut that shit out. Seriously, y'all both need to cut it out. Because I don't understand why Mace is laughing. And you wouldn't be here laughing if it wasn't for Gene Deal. Gene Deal helped get you up out of Vegas. I mean, out of Cali. So I don't understand what he's doing. Like, I didn't understand when Gene was painting a picture. Like, why is he doing that? Like, I didn't even understand that. I'm thinking, y'all got a beef or something? Like, why is he trying to make it look like you knew something about Biggie getting hit, which you didn't? This dude saying that, yo, they got some dudes at a basketball game saying something. That's like somebody at a barbershop telling about the hit. Man, gonna get those dudes. Watch, man, in the city shoot. Anybody could have told you that. A guy at the gas station could have said that. They don't mean they tied to the people that's actually finna do it. They just talking about the word on the street. And then he told Puff and D-Rock. He told Puff and D-Rock. D-Rock is Big right-hand man. So what you got to tell Big? If he told D-Rock them, Big them wouldn't know. He wasn't going to that party because of that. He didn't want to go to the party. He was like, oh, no, I heard they finna start popping people, so I'm going to chill right here. Now, what I'm going to bring up is something that they didn't bring up. Now, Gene can come in and say if he right or wrong, or if it's right or wrong. Gene is the only one that could probably answer that. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Gene Deal can answer this if this is right or wrong. Okay? Because from what I'm hearing and what was told to me, this wasn't the first time Gene Deal didn't pull this. Gene is always taking, they said he'd been taking credit for saying, yeah, he was right. He said they was coming and they did it right. But how many times did Gene say that? This is why he's like, Gene tells you one side of the story, which is his side, but there's another side of the story. How many times, and they need to ask Gene Deal, how many times did he run that story? I talked to my guy. They say they coming tonight. Here. He's like, how many times did you run that story when we were in other towns, Gene? How many times did Gene Deal tell this same story? I talked to my guy and they coming tonight and nothing happened. Nothing happened, Gene. He's like, that happened in many towns we went to. Nothing happened. And the one time it happens, now he got his head out. I told him, I talked to my guy, it was coming. He knew the hit was coming. But I'm asking Gene, did that ever happen, Gene? Did you ever bring this up before in the past, saying the same exact things and nothing ever happened? So if y'all talk to Gene before I do, I just want to know, did that ever happen? That's all. I ain't saying Gene a good guy. I think Gene's got a big heart. But it's some things that he say that gives me alarm that I don't like the deferred thing with Puff. I understand you got a problem with Puff and you know, whatever it is, you just gonna not like that man for life. But you tried to make it seem as if he didn't give D-Ferg some money and D-Ferg owed these guys, then D-Ferg end up dead the next day. What is people gonna think? That whoever owed him the money took out D-Ferg, right? That's what you would think. If you go back and listen to what he said, go back and watch what he talked about with D-Ferg and how he had the money and he wished he would have just gave it to D-Ferg, but it was Puff's money and Puffy, he's like, did you straight? Did he give it to you? No. And he gave Puff the money and Puff didn't even know that he had gave it to Gene Deal. He was like, oh, all right. I didn't even know I gave it to you. He's like, I'm looking at it. Well, when you looking at it, watch when he say to D-Ferg about D-Ferg that D-Ferg died the next day. He didn't give him that money. He owed some, all I know is D-Ferg owed some guy some money. He went to Puff to get it. And Puff didn't give him that money and I was hot. After all he gave for him, he didn't give him no money. And then he died the next day. So he made it sound as if the dudes he owed the money to must have did something to D-Ferg. And Diddy didn't give him no money that could have saved his life. That's the way he made it look. But in reality, D-Ferg died of kidney failure. He was on dialysis when he went up there anyway. He was on a dialysis machine. So D-Ferg died from kidney failure. That ain't got nothing to do with Puff. You see what I'm saying? This is the way he said that story and made it insinuated it to make it look like D-Ferg died at the hands of the people that owed him money. That ain't some rumor. You can look that up. He died of kidney failure. And ASAP Ferg, that's why he was with Diddy. Diddy was taking care of him, making sure he was straight in the game. So that's where I had a problem. When things get out, when they blur the lines to try to make it look some way that they know in their mind and they know in their hearts is wrong. That's not what happened. Don't put something on another man that just because you got a problem with him. You might not like the fact he didn't give him no money. We don't know what D-Ferg asked him for. We don't know how much he asked him for. But you shouldn't put that on another man, knowing that, somebody who loved D Ferg might have saw that and believed it and might want to put hands or do something to Diddy because of that. Knowing that this man died from dialysis. You making it look like it's something else. That's the problem I have. That's the problem Mace had. When he did that before, it was like, man, these people are crazy out here in the streets. They might have took your interview and went a whole nother way with that. Like, I'm holding some information like I knew Big was going to get hit. I didn't know nothing about that. Like, Big was going to get hit and they told me the plan and all this. Like, dude, you made it sound like I knew the plan and everything. And what do you think these young people might do? These people crazy out here. And this is why you don't do this type of goofiness. But I don't understand from May's perspective why you are laughing. That's my main problem with Cam and Mace. What is the laughter about? Like, Biggie died. I don't get what's funny. This sometimes it's just like I get what y'all doing, but the clown stuff gotta stop. It really do. No, it's just nothing funny about it. I can see if it's something funny, if you laughing at something and it's funny. Like they say, if it's funny, you're not in trouble. But I don't see the joke. It's like you laughing, but it's like, what are you laughing at? It's nothing funny, B. For real. The most of those people out there, y'all don't even exist. They don't care about your position. They not looking at you in any way, shape, or form as a threat in the industry. Y'all don't exist. Y'all out here naked. J Money, I know who was behind it. J Money, like you said, Champagne Sloppy tried to have you pop. Who else did it? You ain't got no proof. You see, first off, I'm talking about something that's involving me. That's who? Me. Well, when you got people on your side that know what's what, they know how to handle situations. When you're surrounded by people that don't move in the same light as you, then you understand that. I don't got proof, but yet you see the guy popped in his head laying down at my feet while I'm saving his life. And I'm clearing traffic. I'm running to get the cop. What are you talking about? What proof do I need? What more proof do I need? If I didn't have that little bit on there and I just told you the story, you thought it cap, cap, cap. That's all y'all do. I'm telling you what went down and how it went down. Because I pay attention to my surroundings. I wish that was true, Mr. Tillman. But now, I just think they both need to cut it out. Well, when you start seeing real things, show their head and maneuver itself and do what's what, then you start seeing people move in a different fashion, a different light. Now you're hearing all this trash and stuff that don't make no sense, and people are messed up in a way, you know. Oh yeah, it ain't me. I don't owe him an apology. I owe him a right to his face. I owe him something like a as I pull it from the waist. Drop, 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 drop. Fire 50 times, 29, he be shot. Ooh, I am not trying to keep it PG. Which one of them? Which one of them? Mm-hmm. Free puff, love, love, love. Hey, I'm gonna tell you how crazy this gonna get, y'all. Let me tell y'all how crazy this is. I spoke to Mace when this was going down. Cause I was like, when I saw that Gene Deal video, I was like, what? Cause it didn't make no sense to me. We could have kept the kids out of this, believe me. Well, that's what I wanted to tell people about. No, but me and Mace spoke about it, and he was like, "I don't understand what they doing. Like why Gene did that."
Bruh, listen here, Mace. When you talk, I don't say a thing. When I talk, I want the same respect. Now, what I told you was, and what you didn't hear.
It's a natural reaction. They start mixing.
So I mean, the first thing I think, like when you be saying stuff, I think you need to be more truthful, man. Cause you were there and you saw some things, but it seemed like you doing stuff ratings instead of just being real. If you gonna tell people the truth, don't blemish my name and try to make your show look better. Tell the absolute truth, man.
How did I blemish your name, Mace?
I know, but you keep saying stuff like me and Diddy, like, you know I'm a real man. Like, why you got looking at me funny about what you saying, bro?
How I got somebody, hold up. How do I have somebody looking at you funny, Mace?
I mean, just straight up, because you know, like, you saying funny stuff about religion and all that, like me and him saying, like, yo, you know, I don't even play like that, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Like,
Did I say you and him was praying together? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
I know you to be a real one. I know you to be a real one.
Go ahead.
I know you to be an upstanding guy. So I'm not expecting no funny business from you. Like, even in your show, you said some stuff about you and Puff was taking a picture with his dude shot big before he even got killed. But you never really addressed that. So if you don't start addressing stuff, bro, address the real stuff, man. Don't be playing around, because this is not a game. This is people's life. And I'm the only one really willing to say something or to do something about it. I ain't hiding behind no YouTube and all of that.
So you saying, Mace, hold up. You saying that you know who I am. You know you. Go ahead.
I'm saying in your video, where you said you took a picture with a nigga who shot this. That's crazy.
Bruh.
You said took a picture with him.
Bruh, you're not listening. Bruh, listen here. Mace, when you talk, I don't say a thing. When I talk, I want the same respect. Now, what I told you was, and what you didn't hear, was they showed me a picture of me, Puff, and the nigga who killed, that Lil C said killed Big. The FBI said they saw the picture too. When they showed me the picture, they had the face blurred out. I didn't say I took a picture. I said the FBI. Yo, bro, I said the LAPD showed me a picture of me, Puff, and the nigga who shot Big. The Lucy said.
Why would you, Puff and Big, why would you, if Puff be taking a picture with a dude did that? That don't make no sense.
Because they showed me the picture. I don't know who took the picture. What do you mean? The nigga walked up the Puff car first. And I see. Why was Puff was in the car? I was standing on the outside. This nigga was coming up down the drive. He was coming down the street. What are you talking about? So if you want to say something, Mace, tell us why you didn't go. Mace, why you didn't go to the party? Mace, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you, you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to be
So, Mace, who told you? Mace, didn't I tell you? Listen here, Mace. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Mace, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mace, Mace, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the fuck is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Mace. Did I say that to you, Mace?
So, right, and they bring that up on the show, and that's why I be saying things just, you know, y'all need to just leave that alone. Right, you don't see me up here making videos about Biggie dying and Pac dying and all this. Like, dude, we've covered that. Now, I can see y'all talking about the Keefy D thing because it's a trial. But you see, like, Reggie and all these fools, like, Reggie is doing that for money. He broke. He got nothing going on. He got medical bills. You know, he got diapers and stuff. He got a Depends and all that. And I don't like Reggie Wright. You know, to me, I think he's a no good snake. But I never made fun of his health and his situation, because that's not what you do. Even if you somebody I don't like, I don't do that to people. Yeah, to me, and I told him, I said, I think you a crooked cop. That's why I don't deal with you. I don't deal with no crooked cops. Yeah. Yeah, he wanted me. Here's the thing. You call me a liar. Reggie was on his live stream, right? Saying I be lying about everything and this and that. Then when he saw me in the chat, because somebody went and grabbed me, I come up in the chat. He flipped his whole script. Like, oh, hey, man, yeah, I want to hear about that. Man, why don't you come up here, man? I want to hear about it. Come on, I see. Yeah, just come on the show. I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to you. In this chat right here is where I will talk to you at. In this chat that's going up with everybody else, this is where me and you talk at. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. To me, you are a dirty cop. I don't deal with dirty cops. But tell the world, I'm right here. Tell me what I lied about. Oh, I'll tell you off the phone. Like when we get off the air. No, say it on the air. Say it on the air. What do you think I lied about? Come on, Reggie. That's what I told him. Flat out. Live on his show. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to say it. But love to say I was lying about something. Please, explain it. I'm right here. I'll correct you. Go ahead. Run it down. Now, the reason why he said he wanted to do that off the air, because he know what I know. If he said it on the air, it would have exposed him. So it'd be like, well, how do you know that, Reggie? How do you know if that's definitely not true? Because now you got some explaining to do. And then he that's why he don't want to do that on the air. Now, here's the news. Nobody finna go out there and bust no guns in no street in California. When the person pulled right off, they did the shooting and took off. The person in big car jumped out of the car, put the car in parked and jumped out. He had a goofy driver. He jumped out. They all was scattering out of the car when the shots fired. And they got back in the car to see that big guy hit. And as soon as they did the hit, they gone off. Come on, man. Well, see, Reggie don't know I know so much about him already. Only thing he could tell you is that he looked up my file and saw my police record. And all he saw was guns, 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 guns. And said, wait a minute. Well, let me rethink this. And that's why the positions never changed. That's why the conditions never changed. That's why people never got to the certain level they were supposed to get to, because other people was prohibiting them. And this is why right, it's nothing to brag about, but I'm just saying, people stopped in their tracks once they realized this might be something deeper than what I actually know. But like I said, I left Reggie alone. Well, I call him Wedgie because that's what they used to do to him. They used to call him Wedgie in school. They used to give his fat butt wedgies up in school, and his daddy had to come up there because he's a cop and basically say, hey, leave my boy alone. See, I know they used to bully you, Wedgie Wright. I could take you back to grammar school, boy. Yeah, you see he shut up about me real quick when that happened. He shut up real quick when I brought up his past. When the last time you been to a Looters Park picnic, buddy? Don't think I don't know people out there. Not everybody's banging in Compton. But they call me in school the best. I was athletic, cut up, muscles everywhere. So when you talking about me, you talking about the best, homie. The very best there is. I know. And the last person that should be talking is him. And we said the last. But yeah, there he is. Running off at the mouth. Because he can't help himself. Now, for Cam and Mace, I say this. What was Gene supposed to do when he's in the car that drove past? Guys, Puff jumped out the car and ran back to Big's car. They had all passed the car. The dude turned and went down the wrong street. They went to go follow him. But these cars that they got a rental and they made differently where they have a speed that it cannot access to. It can't go to and go past a certain speed. They don't know their ways around Cali like that. They not from there. They don't know like where the hospital at and all this stuff. You know, this is stuff that they don't know at the time. Ain't no MapQuest. Ain't no Google Maps. You feel me? Right, you can't just go out and just start blasting. This ain't no movie. Y'all ain't bust no shots. How are they gonna do that? They behind, they didn't get shot at. The people with the guns is in the first car going forward. Nobody in Big's car had a gun. I mean, hell, they was about to leave Cali that night. You know what I'm saying? It was just a terrible situation that should have never happened. Puff was under a false sense of security. Should have never had Big out there in Cali. Not like that. It wasn't a party. It was after the party was over. And, I mean, Pocket just died 6 months ago. It was still funky out there. But after Big died, it changed everything. Everything in Cali got changed in 2 years. Right after Big died, that was it. That wasn't happening no more. They swept through there and took guys out. So by 1999, you know, Puffy living out there, Nas got a crib, like everybody's moving to Cali. You know, it's crazy. Guys had cribs out there like ready to go. Quan, I would not talk about Gene like that. I mean, y'all talk, that's some YN talk, man. Y'all talk real reckless on this keyboard. Now, I understood why Mace was doing that, you know, was saying what he was saying, and he was like, Brandy wasn't with you. Tell him the truth why you didn't want to go. Because you told him, he's like, you told me Brandy called you and said she wanted to go to the party. And Brandy probably came over there with him when all this went on, like after Big got hit, and Mace just stayed in the room. They was like, don't leave the room, stay in the room. So he stayed in the room, and then they ended up sending Gene them to come get him, to get him up out of Cali. And Mace told me the whole thing on the phone. Me and Mace talked on the phone. He told me a lot of stuff, but we actually talked for like an hour straight. Mace told me flat out that the whole situation from his side of the standpoint of what went down, and that they got him out of there on they put him on out of San Diego. He's like, we went to San Diego, and then they got us out of there from San Diego because LAX was too hot. They didn't trust him. Puff them, he didn't go out of there with Puff. Puff got out of there from Vegas. Puff went to Vegas. Clive Davis got him out of there. He called Clive Davis. Clive got him out of there in Vegas. So half of them, they all went out in Vegas. Junior Mafia, C's, and all them stayed with Big. They was like, we ain't leaving Biggie. And they was like, y'all gonna stay? Puff like, y'all gonna stay here? I'm out. Puff was up. They was like, no, we going back with Big. Now that hiding behind car stuff, that wasn't Gene, but they tried to, the way they told the story, they didn't say it wasn't Gene, and they didn't say it was Gene. But the way they told the story, they tried to make it look like Gene, you know, throwing little shots at Gene. Now, talking about why they didn't bust their guns and all that. And that's what's going to send Gene off. But just because Gene told that story and made it seem like Mace knew something and he didn't want nobody to know, like Mace knew something because he was talking to them guys. See, you keep putting out stories and stuff like that. Like he say, talk about, if you're going to talk about it, talk about the real case. Talk about the dude who did the hit and you know, elaborate on why the feds had pictures. Talk about that. What's real. Don't talk about some fantasy stuff and trying to make it look like something that you know it ain't. And then when you get confronted on it, say, I never said that. You know, and that's what, because he's like, man, you playing games out here in these streets. Now, if you Mace, if you know Mace and you know what he been through, I wouldn't even want nobody playing like that. From Pop Lottie all the way down, like everybody in his crew was getting like murked. Dude wanted to murk Mace, and all these dudes in his crew was getting killed. Mace moved to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That was real stuff he went through. He joined, found God, got up out of there. Man, it was hell. So, of course, you don't want somebody playing with your name that could lead to somebody kicking this right back off, going back into some BS, trying to take a shot at you, saying that you knew and you helped set up Big. You know, some stuff that ain't even true. We done seen people lose their life for less. Big died over nothing. What Mace wrong about? He was wrong for laughing on the show with him and Cam. Cam Killer ain't got no dog in this. But he damn sure shouldn't be laughing. I'm like, dog, Big just died. He the one signed you and got you with Un. Mace brought you to him and he was like, yo, this Killer. This, you know, he could rap and do this and that, and he got you to deal with Biggie. I ain't gonna say what the man never did before in his life. All I can tell you is what this man didn't do right then and there in that situation. What was he gonna shoot at? By the time they looked around to see behind them, when they heard shots, what's there to shoot at? The man was in a car, they did the shot, bah, 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 they pulled off. They're all the way, they turned and they going down the lane. They went down there, see that by that time they dude is gone. Okay, they know they live there. They know how to dip. These dudes in an SS and these dudes in a damn SUV. They ain't finna catch them. And those cars, they got governors on them because they rentals. You can't go past like 65, 75. They were trying to hit that thing to the floor. Gene Deal told them, like, dude, let's get in the car. Let's see if we can get these dudes. They went after them. And then they came back, and they wasted too much time getting Big some help. He probably could have survived. When people make up their mind on which angle they want to bounce to and what they want to turn it to, they always change the story, don't they? The narratives always change when you see these people. They come in, they hear the story, they swing it to whatever they wanted to swing to, then they go into another direction every time. So what was they supposed to shoot at? You feel me? I hate that muff. No. What were they supposed to bust their gun at? That's what I want to know. What was they supposed to turn around and say, I'm finna dump my gun off and empty it at? Hit the like button. What was Gene supposed to shoot at? They already gone. The only question I would have for Gene is from what I heard. I heard Gene Deal was not only saying this there in LA. He said it every other place they were too. They was like, Gene, you said that all the time. We was somewhere else. He was, oh, I just got off the phone with my mans. I heard they coming to get us tonight. and don't nothing happen. He's like, Gene, and he was like, even Big him told him, like, Gene, you say this it all the time. So why would, this is why they weren't taking it seriously this time, because Gene says it all the time and don't nothing happen. I would want to talk to Gene about that, if anything. No, I don't listen to Chuck. I think both sides just need to leave it alone. That's what I think. Both sides need to just let it go. I didn't like Cam and Mace laughing, talking about Biggie, dying, getting shot. I don't think nothing's funny about the situation at all. That just looked weird. So it's like, what are you laughing at? It's just gone too far, man. For real. It's like big kids are grown now. It's like, and they gotta hear this goofiness about their father on the internet. It's like it's time now to be grown. Y'all been doing this for far too long, B. Let it go. L-I-G it. Let it go. Move on. There's plenty of more history to talk about. I'm like, Mace has got a catalog, his first 2-3 albums he wrote. He did Puffy album, his album. Shoot, who else was there? He got a lot to talk about. Gene got a lot of bodyguard stories he could tell you about. He linked to a lot of people in New York. Plenty other things to talk about. It don't have to be about Puff. Every damn day, Puffy, Puffy, Puffy. So, like I always said, man, look, life moves like a bullet. You either could get hit by it or not. It's up to you. But play your position and play at your own safety. There's a lot of nonsense out here in the streets. Don't be a part of it. It's a lot of goofiness.
That ain't scared me. Good thing I'm not even drunk.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm out of here. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Mace, Cam, Gene. Cut it out. Stop it. Leave it where it needs to be. In the past, it's done. Just leave it. Both of y'all drop it. It's ridiculous. None of y'all gonna look good talking about it. Trust me. Nobody does. Just let it go. I'm out.